shows all the different wooden molds that have been used throughout the years. Now you may notice that they're all charred out. That's because they don't last very long. They only last for about 7 to 10 different times before they completely char out and cannot be used anymore. That's when we will use a cast iron mold. Cast iron will last us for about 50 to 70 years. Waterford Crystal is still one of the only companies in the world that still use the wooden molding technique. We also use these wooden tools here. This wooden tool here, and all locally sourced here in Waterford at the base of Mount Congreve in the Congreve Gardens. So during a storm, a large tree fell, and we're able to gather the timber from that tree to make all these wooden tools and make all the wooden molds to reshape the crystal before it goes down into the mold. Because it'll either be as a big blob at the end of the blowing iron or as a big cylinder. So they need to pre-shape it so it can actually fit inside the mold themselves. So there's various different types of dividers that will be used up in the blowing department. See the circular imprint on the timber there? That would make the foot. Here behind me you can see the carpentry workshop. Connor is our carpenter. He makes all the wooden tools and he makes all the wooden molds. Connor would have came in as a qualified carpenter. There's no apprenticeship for carpentry inside the factory. So he would have came in already knowing how to work with all the tools he has on. In particular is because they're actually owned by Fiskars. We were bought by them in 2015. We're underneath their living brand, with the likes of Wedgwood, Brad Dalton, Brad Albert, and Ronald Copenhagen. So we're alongside all those major companies as well. Just going to find out a few different molds, guys. So over in the middle of the torso and left of the legs. Down below that you have the Solheim Cup. Solheim Cup is for the women's golfing trophy between North American and European teams. And then below that you have the NCAA Kentucky basketball trophy. It's when Kentucky won the NCAA tournament that year. Along with top shot of Luther Vandross outside in the showroom. Far left hand side of the department then you have the likes of a fireman's helmet, American football helmet, baseball glove and a Viking longboat. The reason for the Viking longboat is because Waterford is Ireland's the Vikings. They were kind of back in 914 AD, about 1000. Folks, here we are in the blowing department. Down the middle of the department you'll see the tank furnace. The tank furnace runs 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. The temperature of the furnace is about 2,400 degrees Fahrenheit, about 1,400 degrees Celsius. The crash will either gather material directly from the tank furnace or gather from what's called the billet down below on the right hand side. The craftsman has his piece out on the turntable here, and before we came up he pre-shaped it using wooden tools, and now he's putting the final pre-shapes into it. He'll also blow into the blown iron as well, creating the hollow on the inside. And now he's going to use the cast iron mold down in front of him. He's going to blow down into the blown iron, getting the full shape of this mold. Now you may notice that there's a bit of excess glass forming on top. This excess glass is known as a cap. This cap gets removed in our next department. It's just allowing the main body of the piece and the blowing iron to be attached to each other. Here on the left hand side of him, you can see the wooden tools being used again. So all the wooden tools are kept in silver buckets. Silver buckets are filled with water, and this prevents the tool from catching on fire when it's going up against the extreme temperature of the crystal. Once all the pre-shaping is done, the craftsman will blow into the blown iron, creating a small hollow on the inside. And when this one is done, when it comes out in the cast iron mold, it's going to go onto the turntable. The craftsman will inspect it for any flaws. If there's any flaws found whatsoever inside the glass, it will be smashed up and then recycled. Same thing goes over here, down into the cast iron mold, slowing into the blown iron, getting the full shape of that mold. And then you can see the cap on top of this one as well. The way that they remove the blowing iron over here on the right hand side is that they use some compressed air, and they also use some water. Once the piece comes off of the blowing iron, it will go inside one of the kilns. Our kilns are about 400 degrees Celsius at the moment. It will reach 480 degrees Celsius. Then it will gradually drop down in temperature throughout the night. It's known as an annealing process, ensuring the whole piece cools down evenly and throughout. These pieces will take a little longer, 24 hours to cool down, but the larger, the more thicker, the longer it's going to take to cool down. So in a few moments this piece will just pop off from the blowing iron, then it will go inside the kiln and cool down overnight. All the grafts they work together as a team and they work together in rotation. So once one piece is done, the next one is being worked on straight away after. So the craftsman over here on the right hand side, he has this billet inside of the portable furnace. The portable furnace does not hold any material. material. It is simply used to heat up the crystal. Once the crystal gets to a certain temperature, it's very easily shaped and molded into what the cap is needed. So there's the finished piece, into the kiln it goes, go down overnight. Same thing goes for the left hand side over here on the stem chair. The piece is just settling. I bring it down to the bottom of the stem chair and then it'll be removed. The grass will be there to gather it and then it'll be placed inside of the kiln and go down overnight. Double cut is our below department and the process is the same throughout nearly all the pieces. So what we're going to do now, we're going to head up to the next department. Then you make your way up the steps and we'll talk about what goes on. Thank you. To see the back of the kilns. So early in the morning, one of the craftsmen will come in and take out all the cool nail pieces that were made yesterday. Then place them along the kiln bed where you can see all the pieces lying. The first thing they need to do is remove the cap that is still attached to the piece. The way that they remove the cap is that they either use the vertical saw here or the horizontal saw adjacent to it. These saws are diamond tipped and will cut straight through the crystal. Once that cap has been removed, it will be thrown into the good colour bin over here. Once that bin is full, it will be sent off to be mixed in with our raw material. Our raw material consists of lint ash, potash and silica sand. We get these from likes of Belgium, Germany and Holland. Down below where you can see the white bags with the blue handles on them just at the end of the third kiln. That is all the smashed up glass and raw material mixed in with each other. Every 8 hours, one of these bags will tip into the top of the furnace to keep the furnace full of materials we worked with. So anything that goes inside of that good colour bin will always come back to us in the white bags down below. So there's 0% wastage here inside the factory. As you can imagine, once the cap has been removed, this will be quite sharp around the top and around the fine edge. So what the craftsman will use are the two Battisti wheels over here. These wheels are also diamond encrusted, and the one that is closest to us is the rough wheel for the inside of the nuts. The craftsman will also look for any flaws in this department as well. If there's any flaws found whatsoever, it is smashed up and then recycled. So it's not standard, it will always go into the bin, it won't leave the factory whatsoever. Look over here on the table, guys, to show you the timeline of how a bowl has been made. So on the right hand side is when the cap has been removed and the top has been smoothed out. Then it will be marked in our marking department. Then it will be cut by the colours, and then finally it will be dipped into a hydroblur, what goes on in the next department afterwards when you're ready. Okay, thank you.
How many blowers are there here?
I think there's about 7 or 8 in total.
That makes all of the water for crystal.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, they make 70,000 pieces a year.
Wow. So that's about 10,000 per person?
Sorry?
That's about 10,000 per
Yeah.
person?
Yeah.
And what's a regular work schedule?
They work from about 8 o'clock in the morning to about 5 o'clock in the evening.
A 9 to 5 job.
Yeah.
Does the factory ever shut down for holiday or?
Yeah, it'll close for Christmas. It's going to close around the 22nd of September, and then they'll come back around the 6th of January.
Oh, okay. After King's Day.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So you folks will all head down there?
Go ahead, wait. Let me get this.
9 times out of 10 though, they already know just by looking at the glass itself.